Hello and welcome to the People's Manifesto, now officially condemned as dangerously socialist by Tory Party Fuzz for advocating idealism in our MPs and a whip-free parliament. Just to remind you who you're listening to right now during these broadcasts, there is now a red flag on the wall behind me, so that when you hear me talking about a more individualistic democracy, you know that it's really red propaganda. Now, something I missed out from my Tory vid was, as I wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible, was eventually I did manage to get an off-camera interview with a local Tory councillor. And in my interview, I was talking about business having influence in politics. And especially referencing that list of, I think it still stands at 70 corporate leaders who have endorsed David Cameron's plans for national insurance. And I used the quote from Benito Mussolini, which I think I've used here: "Corporationism is the first step to fascism." And he seemed a little flustered about this. And he said eventually that, well, Mussolini wasn't a very good fascist. I then asked if the Tories would be better fascists, and he, in a panic, said yes. I don't know whether this was a Freudian slip or just shows how good I am at scaring small men. Seriously, this guy was tiny, shorter than I am. You may be wondering why there was no video yesterday. Was I taking Sunday off? No, my computer monitor exploded, so I couldn't edit any videos. However, I am now determined to carry on despite what extraterrestrial or more powerful forces may have malevolent designs upon my computer equipment. Now, the big political story of today was the Labour Party manifesto, which unfortunately I'm still reading. However, given the headline on the BBC's economic coverage is still yesterday's headline about Labour not planning any raises in income tax, it seems to suggest that it's not as radical as Ed Balls earlier was talking about. And this idea of not raising income tax seems to be trying to woo business leaders back from the Tories who've endorsed David Cameron. And sorry about that. I just wonder again why Labour is trying so hard to woo these people. I mean, we need to cut the deficit, so why not increase taxes? Shouldn't the wealthy, who have more, who can afford to pay for it, help it so that we don't have to cut public services that the common man, everybody, most of the people of this country have to use, and so that the people who work in the public sector, the public servants, don't have to lose their jobs and end up on welfare. Now, I just think, why is Labour trying so hard to woo business leaders? There are so few business leaders. If you take them as a percentage of the country, I think it would probably be less than 1%. So, and if Labour is trying so hard to get that 1%, then it's ignoring the other 99% of this country. And I think it's that 99% who need public services, or 90% at least, who need public services, who will decide this election. There are more of us than there are of them, and it's our vote that the parties need to be canvassing for. Now, there's no doubt we need to cut the deficit, which is why I was shocked when the Tories are going back to their favourite subject of the marriage tax allowance. Now, under the Conservative schemes that they're proposing this election, this would give couples a roughly £150 bonus per year. And this seems to be more on ideological grounds of the Tories supporting marriage rather than economic sense, as tax allowance mean that there's less money coming in, which means the deficit is increasing, putting us in an even more shakier financial position than we are already in, meaning we have to cut public services further. And I honestly think that most married couples could live without another £150 if it means keeping hospitals and education in good condition. I also question the ideology. The Tories support marriage, and I support marriage. I think everyone supports marriage. I don't think anyone is out there saying that people shouldn't have the right to get married if they so choose. However, is bribing couples financially to get married really the way to support it? Right? Personally, I question whether a couple is really in love if a £150 bribe is the thing that's finally pushing you to tie the knot. And if you really want to support marriage, why not open marriage up? Despite most people's belief, we don't actually have full gay marriage in this country. The civil partnerships that we allow same-sex couples to get don't give the same rights as married couples. The only country in the world that offers full gay marriage is Belgium. So if you really want to support marriage, allow more people to get married. Thank you.